Hello, moms and dads. A warm welcome to this episode of Today's Parent. I'm your host, Christine Casina. On this episode, we are going to feature ordinary parents just like you and me to share their parenting journey. And at this juncture, I would like to welcome the Bottles, Victor and Fatma. Welcome to Today's Parent.
Thank you for having us.
You know it's a pleasure to have you, and thank you for your time.
Yes.
Our show is called Today's Parent. Victor, starting with you, how do you feel that you're different compared to your parents now that you are a today's parent?
So first and foremost, thank you so much for welcoming us to the show. Indeed, today's parent is not the same as the 80s parent or the 60s parent, because I mean times have changed.
Absolutely.
And things are different right now. What is influencing our kids is different from what was influencing us. I mean, we didn't have tablets, we didn't have phones.
Internet.
We had one TV station.
At
In fact,
4 o'clock,
which was starting at 4 o'clock.
you remember?
Yeah.
And then it would start with the national anthem.
Yes. Yeah.
Those were the
And I mean,
days.
the only thing you could discuss was one show that you watched during the weekend.
Which one was your favorite?
The Rich Also Cry.
I remember Wild Rose.
Wild Rose, Beverly Hills.
Man.
Yes. So those are our days, yeah. But so if you look at it right now, there are so many influencing factors that influence our kids in terms of who they're meeting in school, how they've been brought up.
That's true.
So there's so many things which are different with today's parents
Compared to
than
way back when.
Yes.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Fatma,
Yes.
let me ask you a question. How many are you in your family, if you don't mind sharing? How many sisters, how many brothers?
I'm an only child.
Wow.
Yes.
And from way back when?
Yes.
Your mother is very different. So let's focus on the relationship, not even the relationship between you and your mother. You know, most of us growing up, we look at our moms and we say, when we grow up, there's something different we are going to do compared to what our mothers used to do.
Yes.
So when you look at your mom, taking a moment to reflect, the things you said you'd never, ever, ever, and then you become a mom, and then you almost become exactly just like your mother. What
Yes.
comes to mind?
Discipline.
Discipline.
When I gave birth to my daughter, I said nobody will ever touch my child.
In fact, she swore.
Ever.
Yeah.
I'll never beat her. But right now, I find myself doing exactly what my mom used to do.
Wow.
Yeah. So she does something, no negotiation. That one you have to get a beating.
You're very different because a lot of our generation are, you know, of the person that we should have a conversation, let them air their views. And I'm thinking, this talking is not working. This works better.
Yes.
But of course, every parent is trying to do the best
Yeah.
that they can. Going back to the beginning, what makes the Bottles, this formidable team of Fatma and Victor, what makes you guys so awesome together?
I believe what makes us awesome, yeah, I mean, there are many awesome parents out there, but what makes us awesome is that we complement each other. I mean, I have my strengths, she has her strengths, I have my weaknesses, and she compliments me when I have those weaknesses.
Right.
So we are a duo, and I mean, we work together to be able to grow the family, grow our own business, and
Right.
grow our own purpose and journey in life.
And you feel like you guys are actually a team. You
We
feel
are a
it.
team,
We
yes.
are
You
a team,
feel it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you nodded at the same time, so I believe you. When you are expectant, you know, now that, of course, this show is about parenting and you're about to become a parent, what was your pregnancy journey like?
With my first child, it wasn't easy. You know, the first trimester challenges, vomiting, dizziness. Then I developed preeclampsia. So towards the 5th month from that, I was constantly sick, feeling sick all the time, going to the hospital all the time. And at around 31 weeks, I was admitted.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, and I had to deliver my baby preterm at 31 weeks. Yeah, because the preeclampsia had gotten very bad. Yeah.
You know, that's a challenging time. You know, for any couple that is watching right now and you're going through such a trying time so early in your parenting journey, how do you cope with something like that?
I mean, number one, you need, a big injection of prayers into your own life, because we were not prepared for that. In fact, just remember, I think it was on a Sunday when she was feeling a bit dizzy, and we decided just to go for a normal checkup. And when we got to the hospital, they were like, why are you even walking? Because her pressure was way off the charts.
Off the roof.
Yeah, off the roof. So that's when she got admitted immediately. And I mean, I'd never faced such a situation before. So I mean, it helps to also talk to people who have been on that journey before.
Yeah.
So parents who have been on that journey before, and also I mean, you were told about preeclampsia. I didn't
Yeah.
even know what that was
You
at
know?
that point in time. Yeah, and that's when I got to find out. So it's good to see people who have walked that journey before you, talk to them, get advice from them, listen to others as much as possible, others parents. Me had the advantage of having my brother and sister who are already parents.
Parents, so you had
Yes, so
you know, a
I
point
had-
of reference.
Yeah, a point of reference, yes,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
The two of you became parents. I don't know if before you became parents, for you, Victor, as a dad, or even just as a man, did you ever sit to think about the kind of dad you'd want to become?
That never crossed my mind.
But you knew you wanted to get married.
Yes, yeah, I knew I wanted to get
Okay,
married, I knew I
okay.
wanted to get kids.
Okay.
Yes. But I never thought of what dad
Okay.
I would become.
All right.
But at the minimum, I thought I would be a responsible dad.
That's a good
Yes.
you know, that's a good start.
Yes.
That's a good start. Break it down for us what a responsible dad is.
So
Just in
also-
your opinion, of course, not as an expert or anything,
Yeah,
but
no,
just
yes.
what it means to you.
So I would say as a responsible dad, number one is supporting your wife in the journey to getting your baby, because I mean that 9-month journey looks short, but it's long. Yeah, I mean she was going through a lot of stuff. I mean vomiting. I mean all kind of emotions are going to come out. Yeah, emotions that you never thought were there are going to come out. Yeah, then she's going to
And that's the end of that point.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I will build on that point because you know the way she looks like a beautiful flower. I can't imagine even her voice going a decibel higher. She looks like an angel walking on earth. Look at that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, during pregnancy, hormonal changes and all these changes happen. And you're wondering, who is this person?
Yeah.
Maybe you have a coping mechanism that a new dad or a dad-to-be could be watching and is thinking he can learn from you. When you see all these changes in your, you know, in your woman, a mother-to-be,
Yes.
what was your coping mechanism?
So in terms of coping mechanism, I mean it's listen to her more, because sometimes you realize it's hormones which are driving her maybe attitude at that point in time or her reaction at that point in time. Yeah. So I mean listen more.
Yeah.
Don't keep on rubbing it back to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then over and above that, I mean talk to others, the other men who have gone through the same journey.
You want to tell
Yes.
me that
Yes.
even before the men conference started,
Yes.
there was already a group of men opening their hearts and speaking and saying, "Enye uko nimelemewa, leo hata sijui amelia hata sijui analia
Yes.
nini."
Yeah.
Wow, there's a platform for men, of course. I
Yes.
mean,
Yeah.
there is just amongst friends.
No, just amongst friends. Yeah.
You
'Cause-
guys need to start a platform.
yeah.
Beyond the
if we get
conference.
followers. Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's part of coping. Yeah, and of course, you'll find at some points in time, it's better to give also her space, yeah, to cool off. Yeah, so sometimes you just want to give her space to cool off and then come back
Okay.
in the picture, yeah.
All right.
Yes.
You guys have been together for how long?
We've been together for about,
This is a perfect
Yes.
question to ask a guy.
yeah,
Answer very, very. If you want to think about your answer, I will give you 2 seconds.
8 years.
8 years.
Yes.
Is he correct?
Yeah.
He's correct.
The glue that keeps you guys together. You did mention that as a team you work very, very well. 8 years is not a short time, and it's not something we should even, you know, it's
Yes.
not a short time.
Yeah.
What are some of the things beyond you being a mom, beyond you being a dad? And I will start with you. What are some of the things that have kept you guys together?
Sometimes we just go for a date. Like it's just me and him away from the kids. We just go somewhere, eat some good food, talk,
Just the two of you.
just the two of us, and enjoy our company.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is something you can encourage. You can encourage other couples to see what they like to do and continue to do the stuff they did before they became
Before
parents.
they became parents, yes.
Okay. Do you want to add on to that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, what you want to do is to find activities you can do together. Yeah. So be it watching a movie, be it a date, yeah, or going even just to church together. You know, find those activities which bring you together.
Okay.
And of course, always challenge each other. That's also fun in a relationship. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
Before you even finish that point,
Yeah.
I'll take you back to your point about the church.
Yes.
And I want you to just changia a bit as well. When the family goes to church, is this a family outing or is this a couple's outing, going to church?
It's both.
Because the guys will say,
Yes.
sitting in the church now.
Yes.
You know, some as women we say, oh, we are not spending time together and blah, blah, blah. But he's thinking, but it's Sunday to the church together.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
So what's the problem? So yeah, it's just something that I've picked from a few conversations.
Yeah.
That, you know, going to church, is it a family thing or is it a couple's thing?
So it's, I would say, okay, Paramount is more of a family thing because it's not just the two of you.
Yeah.
It's plus the
Especially
kids.
when you have kids, of
Yes,
course.
especially
Yeah.
when you have kids.
Yeah.
You have to go with the kids.
Okay.
But you see, when you get to church, there is always a place for kids. Yeah?
That's true.
So there is either the playground or there is the
Sunday
school.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah?
That's
Yes.
true. That's true.
So now you get to share that moment together as you listen to whatever sermon is there.
Yeah.
And of course, always discuss what the pastor is preaching about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, that's...
And you get to turn to your neighbor.
And yeah, pastors always tell you to
Turn to your neighbor, and then
Yeah.
your neighbor happens to be.
To be your wife.
Before we go on the break,
Yeah.
the point of today's episode is for you guys to share your parenting journey.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges? If you can mention one or two before we go on the break, what are some of the challenges that you guys have faced in your parenting journey? I will start with you, Fatma. Apart from you mentioned when you're pregnant, then you had, the sudden birth that then happened. What other challenges can you think of?
I think one of the challenge I can think of right now is disciplining the child
Okay.
and being on the same page with the discipline. Like, for instance, the child does some mistake. I take it upon myself to discipline the child in the way I see fit.
Yes.
And he has a problem with that. Like, he thinks I'm doing it from a bad place. It becomes a very difficult balance
Finding
for
a
us.
way to balance that.
Yes, yes.
Because then you have a situation where you have a bad cop,
Yes.
and then you have
A good cop.
a good cop.
Yeah.
Why do you feel that, you see, like she had mentioned that for her, spanking, for example, is not an issue for her,
Yeah.
and maybe you're the kind of person who then wants to have a conversation and then let the child cry and express themselves. And I don't know how that discipline, by the way, works, because I come from the 80s and there
old
was
school
only one
discipline.
way. There
Yeah.
was only one way. So being, a today's dad,
Yes.
why is, say, something like that, spanking, different from how, you want to do discipline in your home?
Okay, I wouldn't say that spanking is wrong per se, but sometimes it's how you do it. Yeah. So if a child has made a specific mistake, yeah, and you spank them 5 times, yeah, for that mistake, and the next mistake you spank them twice, yeah. So sometimes it's just need for consistency. Yes.
So where she's
Yes.
going wrong, instead of
Yeah.
the next time doing 2, she needs to be consistent.
Yes.
That if I tell you to come back home by 6, that is 5.
Yes.
5 kibokos,
5
tomorrow
kibokos.
5 kibokos.
Yes. If I tell you do your homework, it's 2 kibokos.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
so democracy, no. So now, by the way, you're on the
Yes.
same page.
Yes.
Maybe it's just the how.
It's the how, yes.
Maybe it's just the how.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but discipline is paramount. Yes, as you bring up your children, yeah.
Okay.
It's paramount, yeah.
So how about we take a short break and then we'll continue our conversation when we come back?
Okay.
All right. I hope you've enjoyed our conversation so far. Today we have the Bottles who are sharing their parenting journey. We are taking a short break and we'll be back right after this. Welcome back to today's parent. In this conversation, we are hosting Fatma and Victor Boto, who are here to share about their parenting journey. And I hope as you're watching as a young mom, as a young dad, you are taking a few pointers. Guys, we are back from the break.
Yes.
As working parents, I'm assuming we did an episode the other day of stay-at-home moms, and I was of the opinion that we need to get them lawyers and get them paid a salary
By who?
by their husbands. But back to the point, I have a feeling both of you are working parents, right?
Yes.
What do you do, by the way, for a living?
I'm in sales. I work for an IT company.
Okay.
Yes.
So you work for an IT company, and you, Victor?
For me, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a
Right.
businessman. I have a company which is involved in technology, basically e-commerce.
Okay.
It's a marketplace for entrepreneurs to bring their stuff and get a market and sell out there.
Right.
Yes.
So I'm assuming the two of you are very, very busy. How do you make it work as working parents and find a way to strike a balance?
So go ahead.
Victor.
So especially being an entrepreneur is challenging, and building a business from scratch is challenging. It requires a lot of your effort and time.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is hiring the right people to take some jobs from you, or to take some time off of your hands. So if it's some menial jobs, get someone to do it. Yeah. And then in my schedule, on a weekly basis.
Right.
So there are days where I never get home early. Yeah. And my daughter, who is going to school, needs to sleep at 8. Yeah. So in my weekly schedule, I make sure that maybe 3 times or 2 times a week, I'm always home early.
That's a good thing.
Yes.
That's a good thing.
To
To be able to spend time with her.
spend time with her, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you guys have 2 children. Your first one is a daughter.
Yes.
How old is she?
She's 5.
She's 5, and you have a 6-month-old.
Yeah, 6-month-old.
And you're already back to work.
Yes.
How do you make it work?
As he said, you have to hire the right person. At home,
Even
I have
at home.
even at home. At home, I have a girl who looks after my son, and she's very hands-on. She's very loving to the child, so it takes off the stress. I can go to work and settle down and do what is expected of me without having to worry about what is happening with the child.
Okay.
Unless for circumstances where he's maybe sick, then I need to check in, see how he's doing. But it's good to have someone you can trust with the child.
That's a good point. Your pointers or pointers for any working moms who are watching and struggling, with the fact that your baby is 6 months, very small, but they're at work and they're always struggling with, is my baby fine? Apart from getting good help, what other tip can you share with them?
Situations are different. I can advise women, if you're feeling like you need a presence at home, you can get maybe a nanny camera. You can put it at home.
Tech guy.
Yes.
Are you the supplier?
I supply nanny cams to a lot of moms.
You do?
Including us, yes.
And you install the one in your home?
Yes.
Yes.
You guys actually have a nanny cam in your home?
Yes, we do.
Does it give you more peace of mind, or it makes you more paranoid?
Okay, depends. Sometimes, especially when you're a new parent, it will make you paranoid. Yeah. But as
Because
time,
every small thing you watch is going to be a problem.
I think that would be my biggest problem.
Yes.
So when do you get to work when half the time she moves from one room to another, you are, ameva slippers yangu nikirudi home.
Yeah.
How do you manage your emotions when then you have to be, you have to do CCTV? You have to be a detective actually, almost the whole day.
With my daughter, I used to constantly check.
Wow.
Because that time, as a new mom, first of all, you don't have the skills to even, deal with the households. Like right now, I'm seasoned. Right now, you can't tell me you can tell a good house girl the moment she sets foot in your house. So there are those people that give you peace of mind, and someone you've had, you just don't have the peace of mind.
Yeah, there's always a gut feeling.
Yes.
There's always a gut feeling. So the two of you, the one thing you agree on so far, of course we got you to agree on the discipline part. How many strokes?
Yeah.
You agree that CCTV for you guys works?
It works.
It works. Sometimes it's not that you view
A
it all
nanny
the
cam.
time. Yes, a nanny cam works. But sometimes it's a deterrent. Yeah. So.
Like the nanny knows she's being watched.
That's
so
my other
if she
question.
wanted to.
So
maybe,
you tell her
Yeah.
that in this
you
house,
tell her you have a
nanny cam in particular rooms in the house.
Yes.
You know what I would do? Can you get a dummy one and just put them around the house?
Yeah. So
Even if they're not.
Yeah. Maybe it's not a real one.
Even if they're not working.
Yeah. But the problem is when a situation arises, how will you know what happened?
That's the thing. That's the thing.
Yes.
Let's talk about how you guys have found a way to solve conflict as parents. When you have something that you guys don't agree on, what strategy works for you guys?
It's a bit challenging, but sometimes you look at the situation and think, let me just back down. We don't have to fight over this. It doesn't have to go there. So one of us has to back down.
Yeah.
If he's feeling, let her have this one.
Yeah.
Then instead of, we can't take it to arguments instead, in front of the children. Yes.
How about you, Victor?
So I will say number one is, of course, the family. You have to look at the family foundation. Yeah, you want this family to continue for the next century. Yeah, or however long you're going to live. Yeah, so that's the first foundation that you've agreed you're together and you're going on this for the long haul. So whenever conflicts arise, you always have to find a middle point.
Right.
Yeah. So number one, don't show it to the kids that you're in conflict.
Yeah.
In terms of.
Yeah.
But as new parents, that's going to happen when you're starting off. But
You're
don't
going
show
to have
that.
those-
Yeah,
those-
you're going
those
to have
hurdles.
those
Yes.
hurdles, yeah?
Yeah.
And those hurdles will continue happening because my parents are, I mean, way older, and they tell us these conflicts are always going to happen.
Na bado,
And
bado hamujaona,
yes.
bado.
Yes. Zitakuja mingi.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes they, sure
Yes.
they hear the issues that you guys have, and your mom is sitting there or your dad is thinking,
Yeah.
but shida iko wapi? To
Yes.
them it is so petty, but for you guys it's such a big
such a
deal.
big deal.
Ongea na huyu msichana,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So so it's basically you have to have a conversation with each other.
Communication
yeah?
is
Communication
important.
is important, yeah. Because her point of view might not be my
Your point of view.
Yes. What hurts her might not be hurting
Yeah.
me. What
Yeah.
hurts her, what hurts her is normal to me.
Absolutely.
Because we are all brought up differently. She has a
Differently.
different background. She was even from like a single child family. I had brothers and
Yeah.
sisters. So you see,
Yeah.
yeah. So sometimes you don't know how to marry your cultures.
And you are different,
Yes,
different
you're
ways. The way you mentioned,
Yes.
you are brought up differently.
Yes.
She was brought up differently.
Yes.
You know, somebody said there's no point of winning the battle and then you lose the war.
The war,
Yeah.
That
yes.
you want to win this argument and then
Yeah.
What?
4 or 5 days later, 1 week later, there's a cold war.
Yes.
So who won? I mean, really, there's no point.
Yeah.
The question of intentional parenting, because as today's parents, we have more information, we are better equipped, we have more information. You as a dad, Victor, how are you intentionally parenting and being very purposeful about it and doing it different, if at all?
So number one is the biggest thing is to give time to your children. Yeah.
Time.
Time. Yes. What your children want is your presence. Yeah. Even if you're doing nothing else.
Your
but
presence.
You're just
That
present.
they can see you
Yes,
there. Your
they
6-month-old
yes.
can just see you there.
Just see me hovering around the house.
Yes.
Yes. They can see me there. If my daughter wants to play with some, I don't know, crayons or something, she can just call on dad and I help out. So number one is you just want to give
Time.
your time to
Time.
your children. That's the most important resource to your children. It's giving them time. And of course, on top of that is showing them love.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the point of giving them time.
Yeah.
Because you're pretty much a young dad.
Yeah.
And we're in this generation of your, I will just say it as it is, your gengeton generation. You know, what wako na mpango?
Yes.
Like Friday simu by 3:46 p.m. Mpango iko wapi?
Yes.
How do you cope as a young dad with all these pangos and your friends calling you left, right, center?
Yeah.
Let's go check out a plot. I don't know what you guys do at the car wash
Yeah.
and all these other things.
And the kinyozi.
Let's not even go. So for young dads who are watching,
Yes.
and maybe they are struggling with the matter of time or just being present,
Yes.
what pointers can you share with them?
So some of the pointers I would like to share with dads out there is number one, mpango ina mwisho. Yeah. Mpangos will be there even when you're 70. Yeah. So in your 4 weeks in a month, yeah, you always need to just schedule some time for your kids. It might not necessarily be on a Friday, it might be on a Saturday, it might be on a Sunday.
Yeah.
So don't have those mipangos of Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah. At least get or you have the mipangos, but have the energy to spend time with your kids. Do something for your kids. Yeah. So that's my main advice to young parents. So mipango they'll be there.
Yeah.
Yes. For the better part of your life.
And you know, we
Yes.
miss out on such crucial time,
Yes.
and eventually the kids grow up
Yes.
and you become strangers.
Yeah.
They're teenagers, you can barely speak to them.
Yes.
You walk into a room, they tell you, in fact, you get a sign on the door, stay out.
Stay out. Yeah.
When you get out, they bang the door, no communication, drugs and whatnot. So yeah, we shouldn't miss out on those, making those moments count.
Yes.
Yes.
Our chamas and the things we go through. Do you think sometimes as young moms that we are very busy outside the home?
It happens.
It happens.
Yeah. Like this Saturday, there's a baby shower.
Are you thinking about one?
But as you said, you have to look for time because these are your kids. And like my daughter goes to school 5 days of the week. So the only real day we have with her is on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
So you have to be intentional about making time for your own child. Not like finding an opportunity of going outside and, you know, being free. You're still a parent at the end of the day. Yeah.
Do you feel as today's parent
Yes.
or today's parents, technology has affected how we parent as well? Not even just the information we're getting and all that. How it's affecting our family time. How is it affecting us?
Yes, I mean, sure, technology is affecting family time big time. Yeah, because I mean, when I'm at home, I mean, I'm checking up on updates, maybe from WhatsApp, from Facebook,
And,
from
and we
Instagram.
know you are not a
Yes,
doctor.
Yes, yes. Yeah, Hash is also on her phone. Yeah, my daughter probably is on a tablet.
Yes,
Yeah.
Sophia the
Or
first.
She's seeing Sophia the First and Peppa Pig.
Yes.
Yeah, and then also the little one who is 6 months
Baby
old.
Shark.
She, on
You
Baby
put
Shark
Chuchu
or
TV on
Chuchu TV on
Oh
YouTube.
my gosh.
Yeah. So I mean, technology is affecting
Yeah.
family time. Yeah, but for like us, especially when it's now at night, it's meal time. So probably you have to take the meal together.
Yeah.
So put the technology away.
So all the
Yes.
gadgets.
Put all the gadgets away. Then have a few minutes to share with each other. Maybe let my daughter do her homework.
Yeah.
Then probably after that, maybe you'll allow her to use a bit of technology before she goes to sleep.
All right.
Yeah.
So as we're winding up today's episode, which was a focus on your parenting journey, what can you leave with our parents who are watching, especially from the perspective of a mom and the perspective of a dad, of something that has stuck with you now that you've been parenting for the past how long? Let's say on average 7 years.
7 years.
What can you share with our viewers as your parting shot?
So as my parting shot, I'll tell the viewers, you have to be intentional about parenting. Yeah, don't take it for granted, don't take it for chance, because how your kids will turn up in future is a product of the foundation you're building for them right now. If they become, I don't know, thieves, or that's the foundation you're laying for them right now.
Yeah.
So you have to be intentional about parenting,
Okay.
and not just parenting, good parenting. Yeah. So get all the info you can get out there from your friends, from your family, from the church, from, I don't know, YouTube, or from books.
Equip yourself.
Equip yourself.
Equip yourself.
Equip yourself to be a good parent. Yes, because your
Alright.
children will thank you later in future, and you also thank yourself for making them good kids.
Amen to that.
Yes.
Amen to that. Our beautiful girl, Fatma,
Yes.
what's your parting shot?
Get help. It doesn't need to be from someone you know. You can join groups like, you know, the online groups for
And there are
mummies.
many.
And there are many, like super mamas, just to mention a few. You can, I mean, you can raise a, if you're feeling like you're having a challenge and you're not able to, you don't want to disclose it to the people near
Yeah.
you. I mean, people will judge you. You can just post there, get views, different opinions.
Absolutely.
And you see what works best for you. Yes.
All right. Thank you guys so much for coming to share.
Yeah.
We wish you the very best in your parenting journey. And I hope when you guys are 70, you'll still be very good friends. All the best. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you too for having us.
And with that, we come to the end of today's episode of Today's Parent, where we had the pleasure of hosting the Bottles who have come over to share their parenting journey. If you're watching and you feel like you have a compelling story you want to share with other parents, send us an SMS on 22999. I have been your host, Christine Casina, and this has been Today's Parent. If you're looking for parenting information, go over to www.supermamas.co.ke. Looking for kids furniture, come over to Little Cribs, and I'm sure you'll get something that you like. We thank you so much for your time and wish you a good day ahead.